Hey everybody, Magic Carpet here for another video, and that just fell. Okay, so we don't have much time because I only have 30 minutes and I have to cram four things of notes here. So I'm gonna be looking at this occasionally because there's a lot of information. This is just one note here. So, okay. So first of all, they announced what the region is going to be called, and that's the Kalos region. Although I personally think it's Kalos, but it's supposed to be Kalos. And then they also did the release date. Sorry, I don't know why I was going back like that, but anyway. So there's October 12th, that is the release date. And something else that I thought was really cool was that they're going to give you language selections. And that's kind of cool because it can test my French. So yeah, and then there's sky battles. So you're gonna be able to battle in the sky. And they also showed some videos on this. So the thing that's also really cool is that, that not just flying types can participate in sky battles. Pokemon that can levitate will also be included, such as Haunter, which is the example that they used. And also, there is Hordes. So, you can encounter, I believe, up to 5 Pokemon, if I recall correctly, in a Horde. So, it'll be about, who knows how many Pokemon against one. Yeah, the thing that I think is really nice about that is that it could be nice for training, specifically. And then you can ride on Pokemon, which is also really cool. And then it makes me wonder, can you ride on? That's the question. And also, they released a new type, which is really awesome. And that would be the Fairy type. So the Pokemon that they said will be Fairy type, some will be reclassified as a Fairy type, such as Jigglypuff, Gardevoir, and Marill. And then new Pokemon such as Sylveon and Flabébé will also be Fairy type. So Sylveon's type was finally released. Hey, that's pretty good. So even though I thought it was a light type, I think Fairy type is okay. But the thing about Fairy type that kind of bothers me, out of all of those Pokemon, none of them have wings. I mean, I thought fairies had wings, so I was kind of wondering about this. But yeah, so that's cool. And now let's get on to the brand new Pokemon. There is a lot. So let's just jump into it. There is Litleo, and I'm just doing it in the order that it was on the Pokemon website. I'm not doing it in the order that they were revealed, just so you know. So yeah, so there's Litleo, who is a fire normal type, and he looks like a lion cub. So I'm thinking that whenever he evolves, he's gonna look really cool. And there's Flabébé. First thing, I need to get this straight before I spaz to the max. It's not Flabébé. Okay? Do you know why that is? Because of the accent mark above the E's. This is important. This is very important. Because the accent marks are really important because it can affect how you pronounce things. Because if there's an accent mark with a little slash, it would go that way. So there's an E and like that, so that made no sense. But anyway, Flabébé is a pure fairy type, and Flabébé is said to cling to a little flower as it battles and stuff. It can cling to multiple colored flowers from what I saw, which is really cool. And then there's Noivern, who is a flying dragon type. Something that bothers me about it, I wish that this would have been a sound type. My reason for this being its ears look like a boombox, in my opinion. So it looks like a bat. It's a really big bat. It's pretty cool. And now, moving on to even more. There is Fletchling, a normal flying type. His eye looks like a penguin, which is really cool. And then it evolves into Talonflame, which is a fire flying type, which was also seen in the sky battles. Then there's Clauncher, who is a pure water type. He has like a giant claw thing, and he has a move called Crab Hammer. And then whenever they were showing battles, it was of a Clauncher against a Skrelp. And a Skrelp is a poison water type. It looks like a Seahorse. It's pretty cool. I actually like it. I hope that it evolves into something cool. So then there's Heliotile, and that's an electric normal type. I personally just really don't like Heliotile. I just think it looks kind of derpy looking, but that's up to you. I'm hoping it evolves into something cool, because that's the only way I would ever use it. Just my opinion. Okay, next up. I love this Pokemon. I love this Pokemon so much, I plan on using it. I might even use it in my Y playthrough. That's how much I love it. Pancham is a pure fighting type. Looks like a panda. Has this little stick-looking thing sticking out of its mouth, kind of making it look like. Looks really cool. I like it. And then there's Go-Go, which is a pure grass type, and it was shown in a video where you could ride it. So you can ride on Pokemon now. That's pretty cool. And then there's Sylveon, which I said before, which is a pure fairy type. Another evolution. I don't know if I should voice my opinion on it, because I really don't like it. I don't think it just, suits the other evolutions. I just don't think it looks like an evolution to me. But anyway, there's a new Mewtwo form, which is really cool, too. Not really cool in my opinion, but, I would have preferred if it was Mew 3. So, just my opinion, but moving on. And third note, for the record. One second, I'm gonna check and see how much charge this has. Okay, we're only 7 minutes in. That didn't take nearly as long as I expected it would. So that's good. And then there's Scatterbug. Oh, a pure bug type. Not really much to say about it. Doesn't look all that special. It's alright. Then there's Spoopa, whatever. It's also a pure bug type. It is the evolution of Scatterbug. It's also not much to say about it. And then it evolves into Vivillon. Vivillon or Vivian doesn't really matter to me. I'm calling it Vivillon. It is a bug flying type. I think it looks similar to Butterfree a little bit. I like it personally. I think it's a bit girly looking, but I like it. And I am a female, so yeah. And now we're going to be moving on to areas. First of all, there is Lumiose City. Lumiose City is in the center of the Kalos region. I'm pretty sure it's the first area that was revealed. I think it's cool, and then it has the Eiffel Tower in it. Because they already said that it's based off of France, if I recall correctly. But I know that it is based off of France, whether they said it or not. I am 99% positive that it was. That confirmed. So anyway, you start out in the Vanaville town, which is where you start off, meet your friends, meet your rival. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. And then there's Santaloon Town, and it's the first place that has a Pokemon gym, and the gym leader is Viola, and she uses bug types. So yeah, and then now we're gonna be moving on to the people, and we'll be going over Viola first, since I already said most of it. She has multiple talents. She is a gym leader, the first gym leader, and she has a sister, Alexa. And I believe you meet her in the same place. I can't remember too much about it at the moment, because I have been just frantically looking at this for a long time. So anyway, and then I can't honestly say that I remember the female name for the person that you can pick. You can either do the male or female, but I do remember the male name. The male name is Xavier with an X, so yeah. And then you have 3 friends who are named Shauna, Tierno, and Trevor. Look up Trevor. You'll see the resemblance with a Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide character. Just saying. Just pointing that out. So, and lastly with the people, we're going to be talking about the rivals and or next door neighbor. They are fascinated with which Pokemon you choose, which leads you to believe that it's a rival. So, if you chose the male character, then you're going to have a next door neighbor named Serena. But if you chose the female character, your next door neighbor will be Kayla, which is kind of cool, which means you can have different rivals depending on the gender you choose, which is really cool. And then lastly, even though I didn't have this wrote down, I want to mention it anyway. So you can now customize your character. They confirmed that you can customize your character. You can choose multiple hair, skin colors, all that stuff. You can choose outfits, but later on you'll be able to change your outfit, which is really cool. So, since we still have a lot of time, apparently I got through that a lot faster than I thought I would. I'm gonna give my opinions on some of this stuff. So, I already said what I think of fairy types. I like it, and yet I don't like it. I mean, the fairy types that they've presented us with doesn't remind me of a fairy that I've known for my entire life. Because I thought fairies had wings. The rest of it, I can see them being fairies, except Meryl. What is up with Meryl? Why does a Meryl look like a fairy type? I don't get that. I don't think it looks very fairy type, magical kind of look to it, but okay, I'll take it. And then Litleo. I forgot to mention this whenever I started, so I love Litleo. I think Litleo is really cute, and I think its evolution is going to be even more awesome. I like the idea of him, and I just like him in general. I think he's cool. And then I do like the idea of Sky Battle. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Now you can say whether or not you want to battle someone. Hallelujah! Oh my gosh, this makes me so excited. Because, if you are down to, only a couple Pokemon, because, say, they fainted or so, you can say no! I mean, you only saw them say yes or no once, but hopefully it counts for all. If it doesn't, I may be upset. Oh, so whenever we saw hordes, you can get an Axew early on. Because they were showing hordes, and I believe it was level 5 or level 8, I can't recall, but anyway. So yeah, you can get a dragon type early on, which I also think is very cool. And then there's Noivern. Let's talk about Noivern. I love this Pokemon. I think it's really cool. I won't be using it in my live videos, but I will probably use it on my off-screen X, because I plan on buying them both. I always buy both. It's just what I do. Because I like to be able to play both, get the 2 different legendaries, be able to get more than one starter. I just like that. So yeah, Wyvern, I didn't really go into it too much whenever I was discussing it, but I really think it looks a little bit more like a sound type. I wish they would have made a sound type, because I think it looks a lot like a sound type. I mean, those ears that it has, to me, the second that I saw it, I thought, boom boxes. It looks like a two little boom boxes. I think it's really cool. I like that Pokemon a lot. And then, okay. So Fletchling, I'm not a fan of it, or Talonflame personally. Whenever I first heard about Talonflame, I thought it sounded really cool, but then whenever I actually saw it, I was a bit disappointed, honestly. I didn't like it. It's just not what I liked. It looks a little plain. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Now, Clauncher, I wish it wasn't just a water type. I think it's really cool. I like Clauncher a lot. I think it looks very funky. I like the big claw thing. I like Clauncher. I wish that it wasn't a water type though, just pure water type. I think if you added another type to it, it had the potential to be a really cool Pokemon. I'm still considering using it, depending on if it evolves. But I will not be using it in my Y video for the reason that the Pokemon, I guess I can reveal it now, but the Pokemon that I am going to use for the videos is going to be Froakie, which is the water type choice, so Clauncher wouldn't make sense in that case. I could potentially use it in my X though. But then there's Skrelp, which is also poison water, and I like it. I think it's funky. I'm also considering that for my X video, so we'll have to see their evolutions and such. So yeah, and then Heliotile. I didn't really get into it very much, what I thought about Heliotile. I did say that I disliked it, but I want to really get into how much I dislike it. I think it looks, honestly, I think it looks stupid. I think it looks really stupid, derpy looking. And I hate the fact that one of its moves makes it look like a completely different Pokemon. It just has these little things on its side, and I'm just like, what even is this thing? Oh, another thing about it being an electric type. Why haven't they released any other electric types? That makes me wonder. I mean, like, they've released how many fire types, how many water types? Why just one electric type? That scares me a little, because I like electric types a lot. And if this is like one of the very few electric types, I'm a bit worried, because the pickings will be rather low, from what I've seen. But I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. I already expressed my love for Pancham. I love Pancham. I think it's going to be an awesome Pokemon. Enough said. A lot of people really like Go-Goat. I like it, but I don't love it. I don't think it's that cool. I do think it's funky looking. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike it at all. I think it's very interesting. Not one that I'd really consider using though, because I normally don't use grass types in general. Because I think that they're pretty unnecessary. I could just rather use an electric type. I mean, like, I don't think it's bad. I mean, as long, like, okay. So, let me explain it this way. So, I have three types of Pokemon that I have to put in every single one of my teams. I have to plan an electric type, a water type, and a fire type. I don't think it's necessary to have a grass type because I've gone through many games without using a grass type. I don't know, I just don't like grass types for some reason. Don't ask me why, I just don't. I don't think they're that necessary. And I mean, compared to a water type, they have a huge amount of weaknesses. I mean, if you look at how many weaknesses a grass type has, it's a bit crazy, if you ask me. So, I would much prefer a water type. Just me, but, you know. So, I already said what I think about Sylveon. How about I get into the new Mewtwo form? I'll be honest. Brutally honest. I don't like it at all. I think it looks stupid. You pretty much just attached the tail to its head. I just don't like it, so that's just my opinion on it. Some of you guys might like it. It's just not for me. Alright. So then, Scatterbug, Spoopa, I don't like them. I think they're just rather plain. I'm not against them because of what they evolve into, because Vivillon I really like. I think Vivillon looks really cool. I just don't like Scatterbug and Spoopa, but considering it's a bug type, they tend to evolve rather soon, so at least we wouldn't have to deal with them for long. And their beef faces. So, Lumio City. From the picture that you see on the X and Y website, Lumio City, you can see Pokémon in it. I do find that interesting. So I think it's gonna put Pokémon on a huge another level. I am very excited about it. Ridiculously so. I am excited for this. I am very excited about it. Then there's Vanderbilt Town. I didn't see too much of it, but it looks pretty average. Looks like a normal town. Pretty normal people. Probably not, but, you know, it just looks normal. Santaloon. I also didn't see very much of that. So let's just skip that and talk about Viola. I really like how Viola looks. I think she's very cute, pretty. I like her hair. Her hair is very funky. And then I also like Alexa, her sister. I think she's cool looking too. And then there's Shauna, Tierno, Trevor. I already said about Trevor. And then I noticed that Tierno has a Vanillish, if I recall, Vanillish on his shirt, which I think is kind of funky. I like that. I just like him in general. I think he's going to be a good character. He wants to start a dance team. That's pretty interesting, right? Shauna. There is Shauna. The thing that I first noticed whenever you first see her in the first trailer, the thing that I thought was she looks very, very similar in hairstyle to the female character for Pokemon Black and White 2. Like, if you look her up and then you look up that character, I think they look very similar in hairstyle, so gotta wonder about that. I don't know, but, you know, I like the rival next door neighbors. I think Serena looks a ton like the female character for X and Y 2. I think they look the same. Very similar, except in a ponytail. I don't know if that's for a reason or not, but I think it's cool. And then Calum looks like Xavier, the male character, too. So I'm thinking that they were going for that. But, yeah. And also, the new type has to tell us a lot about the two legendaries and the starters. I know I had previously said that I speculate that Froakie will be a water-light type, but I have to change that now, considering we're just getting fairy type from what I know. And thus, that would mean it will be something else. So from what I've seen, people think that it's a water fighting type. I think that would be interesting if it was a water fighting type. I think it's an interesting typing. So, yeah. And then Fennekin, I still think it's fire psychic. Enough said. Grass, ground, Chespin. I still say he's grass, ground. And my reasoning for this is if you look at Drillbur's, claw hands, they look ridiculously like Chespin's feet. They look exactly like Chespin's feet. So I still think it's a grass ground, even though everyone's saying it's going to be grass dark, it's going to be grass dark. I'm not saying that it's not going to be grass dark, but I think it's more towards the side of grass ground. And regardless, I think both would be a good typing for him. And I'm using Chespin in Pokemon X regardless, because I love Chespin. It's my favorite starter of the three. Even though Fennekin seems to be the fan favorite, I prefer Chespin personally. I just think he looks cooler. I just think he's cool looking. I like him. So, yeah. And, yeah, the legendary typings. Even though I still believe that Xerneas would have been better if it was, grass light or something like that, something in that sort. I will accept that it is not a light type. I still think it's wrong that it isn't. I honestly have no idea what Xerneas' type is gonna be. I mean, the thing is, it looked like a light type if you're ever gonna... That was weird. Never mind that. Anyway. So, I think it just really, really looked like a light type if you're ever going to see one. So, I have to wonder what they're going to type it. And then there's Evoltal. I like Evoltal. It's definitely going to be a flying type. And I'm thinking that it looks also a lot like a dark type. I think a dark flying would be rather non-legendary, if you ask me. It just doesn't seem very legendary-like. But I do think that it will be a dark type. But, it has so many dark colors on its wings, on its really weird things up there, but just my opinion. So, that's about all that I can say. Just gonna, bye, I guess, because I can't think of anything else to say. So, see you next time. Oh, also, I want to apologize for how long it's been since I've done an X and Y vlog. I've been putting it off, and 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 putting it off, etc. So, the next time that information comes, I will try so hard not to put it off because I feel very guilty about it. So, yeah. So, I will see you guys next time. See ya.